business, text PRIME to 72345 for a quick 10-minute video on how to get started. Once again, that's text PRIME to 72345. If you want to learn how to make money with your own Amazon business right now, text PRIME to 72345. That's PRIME to 72345.
Mom, can we have some ice cream?
I've got a better idea. Who wants to help me make something fun and healthy instead?
Eating smarter is easy and delicious. Interested in receiving healthy recipes and a whole lot more in your email? Then register at healthiestweightfl.com and learn more about all the small steps that you can take on the way to living healthy. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
So a friend told me about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and his exact words were, "It changed my life."
I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub.
It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Greatest invention ever!
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of cleaning.
This program is furnished by amp2tv.square.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day.
And the disco has opened up next door.
Having the time of my life is what I hear over there on Beyond the Walls.
You're having the time of your life?
Having the time of my life.
You got enough work.
Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome back.
You got full deck today.
Full deck. It is not like a typical Wednesday. I have to tell you, Wayne, you must bring the vibe is all I'm saying.
I have to clean my focus, my focuses, because Wayne's here. And it ain't Friday.
Wayne's here and he sent pictures. I'm like, but it's not Friday.
And if Gubba shows up today, that's it. The calendar's off.
He's here tomorrow.
He's here tomorrow.
He's here tomorrow.
Wow, you bring a lot of good company.
We're starting our Gubba weekend early tomorrow, so tune in for that. It's never too early to start your Gubba Rum weekend. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can find us live streaming all over social media, Roku, Amazon, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever your phone takes you. You can also listen to us live on WWNN 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, and 1470 AM. We've got a new board op this morning, so hello to Sir Richard, as they say.
Sir Richard is on the air. Hey, Richie, are you there, Rich?
I am.
And there he is.
Good morning to you.
So call up 888-565-1470 and tell Rich you want to be on the air if you got a question or anything we're going to be covering today or yesterday or tomorrow. I mean, it makes no difference to us.
Give us some information. Do you know what today is?
Yes, today's the day we're going to be in Boca Magazine. That's all I know.
Today is actually National Do a Grouch a Favor Day. So if you know a grouch that you work with or you live with, apparently,
you know why she's doing that,
you're
right?
supposed to do a favor for them.
You know why she's doing that, right?
Why? Are you a grouch?
Why? Why'd you doing that? Oh.
Are you a grouch?
So I'm going to be the grouch that stole February for the whole day today.
It's still Valentine's Day. I'm actually looking around the studio, which is actually so beautiful, decorated by Lady Ashley Party Planning. From Batman in the Darkness, here emerges all of this love and pink and red and white and silver balloons around you.
Who the hell is Batman in the Darkness? You see what I'm saying?
You see what
See how it starts? I'm not Batman in the darkness. The Batman is in the dark cave. He is.
Yes.
right? I mean, that's the way it is, right? Wayne, why are you laughing? Oh, Mr. Giggles. Mr. Giggles. No, the penguin doesn't live in a
Are
cave.
you the penguin?
No, he is. He's shorty. Cole's the tallest penguin you've ever seen.
Cole's crib.
And you know who's here? You know, yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I found out every time I find out somebody else went to this party, I'm a little upset at you. The mob duty awaits you. You know who else we have in here? We have Lord Barry.
We've got Lord Barry Rueben.
Lord Barry. Yes. How are you? Jolly-o. Jolly-o.
Did he steal the mic? No, we've got a mic there for
He doesn't
everybody.
talk much. Wayne,
He waves.
we did Tell Us Your Biz last night with him. So I says, and on the set is Lord Barry, And you know what he says? Hi.
Hi.
For 30 minutes, that's it. He didn't say nothing
I got a
else.
problem with the mics this morning.
Now he's all confused about the microphone. He's taking all the mic. How many mics do you need?
I need at least 3.
We've got a whole little mic switcheroo. You know the nut game, the shell game? I'm watching that back there with these ladies on the mic game.
What?
Remember the shell game?
I'm going to be nice to the grouch.
We
What?
got the mic game going on back there.
Yes, because Lord Barry took all 3.
We did a great show last night with Barry on Tell Us Your Biz, talking about the
Man,
Mario Lanza show.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was. I've had a lot of comments on that.
Have you?
Yeah, people watching it, especially in London.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Was it good reviews or bad?
Yeah, no, good reviews. They said, who was the woman? Get rid of her. But no, I'm serious. No.
Cut his mic. Forget the mic swapping. We'll just cut his mic on that one.
Wow.
No, they were good reviews.
Are you
good
insane?
Reviews, yes.
Have you lost your mind? Get rid of. Oh my God! You heard what he said?
Yeah. We cut his mic. It's all good.
All I can say is I hope your car survives today.
What is he doing?
We've got some new friends joining us from the home health care arena. We've got Limari and we've got Roxana. And I spoke to, after I met with you, Wayne and Brittany last week, Limari called and I'm thinking, how did we meet? Did you ever figure out how we met?
No, I couldn't remember for the life of me.
Just gotta have you talk into your mic.
No, I could not remember for the life of me how it was. I know we connected, we talked, we chit-chatted, we swapped information, and we chit-chatted again, and then I was like, oh my God, I gotta get back to her on
Home
this.
Care Plus, and you had my card, which meant I met you someplace, so.
She was at the event we went that night that I met Lucky. That I couldn't eat the burger because everybody was shaking my hand.
At Robin Coven's event?
Dude, what day was that?
What
That
day?
happened to be
What
that
month?
day, yeah.
That was before our third round, I think, of this pandemic that we went to.
It has to be. And you've never been on the radio before? I could have sworn over the years that your company was on our radio show.
Not this particular company. With my previous life, I've done a couple of different things with other stations.
I was to say, were you ever the Beasley stations here in South Dixie? Because
I don't remember the Beasley.
Marsha Teal, maybe?
Nah, no, not her. It was
It'll
more
come
of
to me.
the La Ponderosa and Dade County, a couple of AM stations.
La Banderosa.
Ponderosa.
Panderosa.
Panderosa.
That's
Como el pan de bono,
Spanish
pero
for
panderosa.
Just put a lot in front of it.
You ever done the cool or any Latin stuff?
No.
Oh, I got something for you.
I'm excited to hear more about
I got
that.
something for you. Yeah, we have to do some Latinos for my brothers and sisters.
Tell me.
Ecuador and everywhere else.
So we've got a lot going on, and Wayne Henry brings us a new friend, Brittany. Brittany, I don't even know your last name.
My last name is Brosemer.
Brosmer. Brittany
We'll stick
Brosmer.
with Brittany.
Double B.
We'll stick with Brit. I can't get away.
Brosmer.
We'll stick with Brittany.
Brittany.
Yeah.
You got it.
I remember that.
Dignity Memorial, Southeast Florida, and what's the name of the?
I.J. Morris at the
I.J.
Star of
Morris.
David Cemetery.
I.J. Morris, Star of David Cemetery. I took a beautiful ride up there last week, and I got to meet Brittany and Wayne up front and in personal, so we get to chit-chat a little bit about that story, and there always seems to be a story. But give us a call at the radio station. We're going to take a quick commercial break before we come back and get right into the nitty-gritty. 888-565-1470. Let us know what you're doing to do a favor for a grouch. And we'll be right back.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims.
Turn it up.
Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYoupaid.com.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Dignity Memorial Southeast Florida. Whether you're planning ahead or need immediate service, do it with Dignity. Dignity Memorial, every detail remembered.
Jay Harmon exclusively in the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon captures the essence of really creative and captivating mind. Jay Harmon brings light into the darkness on majority of his pieces, using a negative background to highlight the details of some of his looks. I know some artists use white canvases, but he thrives on a black canvas. And here's the kicker. He only uses pencil, colored pencil, graphite pencil, and pencil for his art pieces. Yes, I know it's hard to fathom that these beautiful pieces came from pencil, but yes, they did. And the only way you can experience Jay Harmon is if you come to the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon, an unconventional artist with a unique story behind every canvas.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
I love when a situation arises, you say to me, so what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about
What
it?
do you want to do about it?
I got to take care of it.
Oh, I'll go and do it.
And I'll take care of it. See, that's how he knows.
It's
I know
my way or the other way. And she said,
That's how you know we've been working together a long time, when I know your way is not going to be a good way.
Thank God you're here. That's all I got to say.
So let's start talking to the ladies. We've got Limari Rivera, the Director of Business Development of Home Care Plus. And then we've got her colleague, her counterpart. We've got Roxana joining us. Roxana Quintana. Yes, Director of Nursing from Home Care Plus. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you very much.
We just got to get you both on your mics, Limari also. There you go. Tell us about Home Care Plus. What type of services do you all offer?
So we're a Medicare and Medicaid certified home health agency in Miami-Dade and Broward and Monroe. And we offer skilled care, so nursing care, physical therapy, occupational, speech therapy, as well as custodial care like the personal care, homemaking, respite companion for homebound patients. So it doesn't really have to be elderly, but the homebound patient, a patient that it is a task to leave the home unassisted. Doesn't mean that they can't leave the home, but it just is a little difficult to leave the home and it would be unsafe. So we provide those services. So a patient coming out of the hospital who's going home, and we assist them in getting them back to their prior level of functioning with physical therapy. Let's say nowadays we leave the hospital earlier and earlier, so you come home a lot sicker, where before you were able to spend a lot more time at a hospital. Nowadays you really don't do that. Insurances and the way our healthcare is right now, the good thing is that our services helps these patients to get back on their feet and make them as independent as possible again. Or let's say you have an elderly mother, father, grandmother who needs assistance at the home, help with their medication reminders or assistance with personal care. And you live, I don't know, let's say up in Jupiter, and she or he lives down in Miami-Dade or Broward. So we offer that kind of care too.
It's interesting because they're turning the home now into the rehab deal.
Absolutely.
So you got to bring in a professional who won't let mom and dad fall. And the reason I can tell you this is because when my parents were alive, in Puerto Rico now in Florida, they did not have this service. And my mom could not get out of bed And what they do is they sort of, you go in and you do an interview or something like that, and they see
Like an
whether or not the
assessment.
person
Mhm.
qualifies, right?
Right.
My mother was in a bed, and they said she didn't qualify because she could bathe herself. Yeah, she could bathe herself because my father carried her on his shoulders. So the game now, the whole system has changed, and this is a welcome. I'm glad to hear this, because that's what killed Mom.
You and I used to joke about the Jewish community. Everyone goes into a nursing home and assisted living, and you send food, and we bring everything over, and they take care of Mom and Dad. In the Latino community, you used to joke that you'd put them in front of a TV with a sandwich.
7 years ago, when I started
She's
this
laughing.
show with him, because it's true. I'm not saying nothing that's not true.
No, it's not. Yeah, absolutely. But nowadays, pandemic and all, people like to be home, and people like to be independent, and we offer that for our patients. And it's a great sense of accomplishment when a caregiver is able to tell their mom or dad, hey, you know what? We're not going to put you in a facility where limited visitations now, and that is horrible for our elderly population. It's horrible for all of us, let's face it. But for our elderly, it's not a good thing. And we could leave him home, give him that support that they need, and it's a great thing. It's a very needed services that today it's coming to light, and there's a lot more funding going to the home and community-based services.
It's true, because, and this was 7 years ago that I used to make fun of this, because until I came to Florida, I didn't know that people put parents in a home. I didn't know that. I never visited a facility. My parents were never put in that. I didn't know. And then the sandwich story happened because my grandmother was taken care of that way. And it was a true story. And they laughed at me. I wasn't laughing. I just said, this is the way it was.
Well, our board op used to say the same thing, right? She lived with her mom and her grandma, and they would just take turns. But it's different now. There's a lot more people, as you said, Roxana, that want to age in place. My parents, perfect example. They just paid off their mortgage, and they said, you know what? We're going to modify the house so we can stay here. And they have full-time aides that come in Monday through Sunday until they go to bed at night, helping them stay where they want to stay, where they're the most comfortable.
And meeting their needs.
Yeah.
So it's not like the agency's need, but our patients' needs. So at what time do you want someone there? Because it's funny. So back then, I remember my grandma, she used to wake up at 6 in the morning, help us go out to school. My parents, they wake up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because they're up till like 4 a.m. having popcorn and watching Netflix.
That sounds like
so it's a generational change, and we can meet those needs. So when is it that your mom or your dad or your grandma needs that service? And that's what we're able to assist with.
And baby boomers now are entering into the latter stages of needing more help at home. And caregivers, life is so complicated right now that the caregiver is having more of a challenge, even more of a challenge than the sandwich theory, because mom and dad need extra help. And it's funny because I didn't realize their falls what killed the senior population more than anything else, including Saget, or whatever his name
Bob
was.
Saget, that's what
he
they're saying,
fell and crushed his head, and he went to sleep and he died. So that's what's happening right now. So again, among my Latino community, Fuego 2.0, I want to put them out there and blast it, because Latinos have this orgullo, they have this pride thing of, I ain't going to put mom and dad in a home, because for whatever reason, we grew up thinking that's not what you do, because it sounds like we're abandoning our parents.
But the financials are also different of when you place somebody in a different, I want to say facility, in a different living situation than when you're home. Because it's a whole, sometimes it costs more to move them than to stay in place.
Correct. And a lot goes into generational, right? So generational changes. And even when you talk about the Latin community, so back then, yeah, our grandmas took care of their siblings or their parents. But guess what? My mom had to work. So it's like, how do you work and take care of your grandmother? So I think that, yes, there is a pride in taking care of your family member, but then there's logistics, and we don't live in the same country. And guess what? Things have to change. You have to work, and that just brings on a new set of issues.
Which is fantastic. How do people get in touch with your company?
So very easily, we have our email. So you could reach me directly or Limari, and it's Roxana@hcpmiami.com. Sorry, you could reach, our phone number is 305-266-7142. And just say, hey, I want some help with my parents, or I need some help for myself, and we could move forward. And you could always ask for Limaris. You could always ask for me. I'm the director of nursing. Been around for 15 years. I don't think I'm going anywhere yet. So we'd be more than happy to get any calls or even guide you through the process, because I think that's important. This is a scary step in people's lives, and you could use us as a guidance. Absolutely. Give us a call. Let us guide you through, whether you use us or you may want to use somebody else. But you know what? We're more than happy to guide you.
Anywhere in Florida?
No. Miami-Dade, Broward, and Monroe.
Where's Monroe?
Monroe's the Keys.
The Keys. So
Basically.
from Broward South.
Yes. Broward South, yes.
Broward, Miami-Dade, and then the Keys. So totally different demographic than a lot of the people that we interview typically that go from here north. You now take care of it south, which is a very different demographic.
Yes.
Yeah, we do a lot of Aventura, Sunny Isles, Miami Beach, all that area. So we kind of do a lot there. We have over 835 patients currently.
Wow.
Over 400 staff members, 2 offices, and we're a joint venture with Mount Sinai Hospital and Miami Jewish Health Systems. Wow. So it's a great, what we call continuum of care. So you may come into one part of the health system, but at the end is Home Care Plus, and we could help you at the home.
And you have providers that are bilingual, which is so important.
Absolutely.
Spanish and English.
We have family down in Miami, and the hardest part for them was finding a place for Grandpa that was bilingual, and Grandma doesn't even really speak English. So you communicate with Grandma, but not just in the language, the cultura, as you say. The culture, right? For me, if I spoke Spanish, would not be the same talking to Grandma as somebody who is Hispanic, talking to Grandma and understanding the culture.
100%. We have patients that, it's important for that grandmother who is now, let's say, blind and immobile in bed. And what happens? We like to talk about our past. We like to talk about where we're from. It's just human nature. And to be able to sit with someone that understands your area, your culture is important. So yeah, we have diverse staff members that can help.
That's what I love so much about you ladies and what you offer in the Miami-Dade area, because I'm going through it with our new family and what it's like, and it's very different because Grandma said she would take care of Grandpa till death do us part, until it wasn't working so great, and kids come in and go, you know what, this isn't working, Mom, we have to do this, and Mom's like, no, I can do this, but Mom can't, and then the English becomes a barrier, but you certainly help with all of that information.
Yeah, our aides, well, not our aides, our staff in general is bilingual, Spanish and English, very fluent. But the beauty of our company, I want to say, or our organization is once we do our assessments when they come home, that is part of the assessment. We meet with the family, we meet with who would be our client, we see where it would be a good match and a good fit. Because anyone can come in and provide services. But the way that the patient or the client receives the services would be so much more embraced if I have a caregiver that can understand them and understand their needs and their preferences and can relate to them as well. That's a big part of, merging that caregiver with that client at the end of the day. The patient comes out benefiting so much more from even the basic services because they flourish more with that warm and fuzzy feeling.
Sure, because you even know what different people want to eat. Your client may want rice and beans and Goya, or they may want chicken soup, but you need to understand where they're coming from and what their culture is and their background to relate. And that I've learned going through that with my parents. That's one of the most important things because they get good care, but it's all of the other things that keeps them happy. Where are they going to take them to eat? What groceries are they going to bring in? What are they going to cook? Is it going to be to their liking or not? And that's what determines whether they like the provider or not. It could be something so simple as what they make for dinner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all ritmo, it's all the rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, Latinos like to talk. You know, they like to do jigsaw puzzle, music. They like merengue. You can entertain them differently than other cultures. And I only say that because Mom and Dad, that's the way they were. As long as there was a party going on, they were fine. They would dance from the bed, they would dance from the wheelchair, they would dance from wherever we put them. But it's cultura, it's a different understanding. You know, I used to hire aides. I used to hire aides for a company. And they had to come through me, and I lost them. Every time they went to the house, people went up north, and they took them. And I lost like 20. And the guy came over to me and says, you know, you're doing a bang-up job, but why do we got to keep replacing them? Why? Because I know what I'm looking for. And they took them. And they were that good. And the difference here between somebody getting healthier quicker, it starts from here. And then the rest, it goes down. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very happy to hear this as a Latino, and for any cultura, for any culture.
And in conjunction with Mount Sinai, you said, and also
Miami Jewish Health Systems. So, so about 6 years ago, the agency was sold to the joint venture of Mount Sinai and Miami Jewish, and it's been an excellent relationship. And like I say, continuity of care and closing that continuum of care. A lot of people go to the hospital and then they're like, now what? So you have your family member come home sicker, and now what are we gonna do? So listen, it happened to me. And I've been doing this for 15 years, and I'm like, oh my goodness, now what am I gonna do? And you know, my sister's like, I don't know, you kind of know this stuff, so figure it out. And I was like, oh man, this is a lot harder than I thought, you know? It is. So we're glad that we could help.
When you live it. What is your website again?
So it's hcpmiami.com.
hcpmiami.com. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Stay with us.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Wayne and Brittany joining us. Sir Barry, Lord Barry, is in the house. More to come on
Don't call him sir.
WWNN.
Lord.
888-565-1470. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Proudly distilling out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Welcome to Mini Donut World, where the donuts are hot, fresh, and delicious, made to order and customizable by you. Gourmet specialty flavors such as apple pie, French toast, campfire, and strawberry cheesecake are always popular. Looking to tailor your appetite? Build your own mini donut. Choose from over 18 flavored donut bases, add on your icing flavor, and choose from over 15 toppings and drizzles. While kids enjoy our design your own kits to take home, our 21 and over customers love our alcohol-infused donuts. Come visit Mini Donut World at 8763 Sterling Road in Cooper City. Have questions or want to place an order? Give us a call at 954-369-2301. We know you will love each bite of our deliciously distinctive mini donuts.
Once a professional musician, Artist Steven Zwirn uses his creativity through multimedia artistic expression. His compositions use acrylic paint to create 3D masterpieces. Steven's fascination with brilliant colors and intriguing patterns with jewels and rhinestones entices the eye with color and dimension. For more information on the artwork of Steven Zwirn, contact Steven at 914-656-9060 or stevenzwirn.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. That was quick.
3, 2, 1. Quick second.
This portion of the show brought to you by
Dignity Memorial, Southeast Florida. Every detail remembered. We've got Wayne Henry joining us and Brittany, starts with a B, joining Brosemer. Brittany Brosemer joining us.
Did you make that up?
What?
Dignity Memorial, every
Detail remembered? No, that would be their tagline.
Yes. It's
Is
our
it?
new
I've
tagline,
never
yeah.
heard that before.
Yeah. It's in all the commercials that played.
But we've
all the
never
time.
used it, wise guy.
It's there.
Yeah, but
it's there.
I'm impressed.
You like that?
I'm
Very good.
Welcome,
Very good.
Wayne, on a Wednesday. Thank you for bringing Brittany Brosemer
Thank
with
you.
you.
Delighted to be here. Yeah. So for those that don't know us, Dignity Memorial, the largest cemetery, funeral home, and cremation provider in North America. We've got about 250 locations here in Florida and about 2,800 throughout our network. We don't tend to lead by the Dignity Memorial name. My base is here in Boca at the Babylon Funeral Homes. A little bit further north, we've got Lake Worth Memory Gardens, all the Quattlebaum Funeral Homes, Acock Funeral Homes, and up in West Palm is...
I.J. Morris at the Star of David Cemetery.
Beautiful place.
So that's where Brittany's based?
Yeah, that's where you'll find me 5 days a week. I'm very versed in all types of faith, but I do focus mainly on the Jewish faith and serving the Jewish communities throughout Palm Beach County.
So we took a very long drive out there last week because I did all of my pre-need planning with Wayne during the pandemic in Studio B on his iPad. And I thought, all right, this, and this. And people said, you don't want that? Yes, I do. And we did it. And because Wayne's changing of situations, he said, we really need to get you up to the Star of David and take a look at what you've purchased. So I dragged Freddie along for a ride. And we're driving, and I said, no one's going to drive here. He goes, don't worry, you won't be driving here next time, so it's all okay. But we drove, and she's still laughing at your sense of humor back there.
But it's true, right? I
He
mean,
goes, don't worry, you're not going to be making this drive again.
We'll
it ain't
drive
like
you.
I'm doing
We'll drive
it.
you there.
Somebody drives you there.
But we got there to I.J. Morris, and it is spectacular. It is really, as you said, Wayne, it is truly beautiful.
It is. Unbelievable.
And I was just being torn in my Jewish guilty faith of my brain and overthinking everything like I do as well. My grandparents are at one location. My other grandparents are at another location. My parents have purchased with you at one of those two. By the devoted daughter, I should be at one of those. So I went and I saw this, and I'm staying where I am, but we're going to move to a bigger area because I didn't like where I had picked, and you're letting me upgrade and move to another part of your garden, which is lovely.
Exactly, and we keep expanding new gardens. We're building a brand new mausoleum right now. So we do have special gardens and mausoleums for every different person and what they want, and everywhere from traditional, we help with cremations as well. But mostly we do have so many gardens, more coming. We're building every day, it seems like, and it's just very exciting to be a part of that.
What I really like, though, is you have this wetland area that you said is untouchable. It is considered a preserve, I guess, of some sort.
Yes.
So it's not always going to be built up. You're going to build up around, but there is still wetland, there are still greeneries, and there's still natural preserve that is right within
Yeah,
the property.
the garden you chose backs up pretty much to that area, so it's always going to be
Yes.
peaceful and trees there, and it's very.
It's a nice spot.
It's very peaceful out there, exactly.
Nice spot. But the whole place is beautiful. I kept going by the beautiful places, and then you took me to your first one. And it says, can we go back over there? Let's go that way.
Well, first we tried to walk it because I went, it's sort of in denial that I was actually there. And I thought I'm going to walk, look at Wayne, say yay or nay, and leave. And I even told Alana, we're going to be quick, up and back in an hour. Well, it wasn't so quick because then Brittany found us, slick as they say, a little moist because it was about 80 degrees. And I've got Freddie, I'm walking him through all of these gardens. She picked us up in the golf cart and really gave us a beautiful tour of what you offer.
Exactly.
And it's a little bit of anything you want, you can have, which is really nice. I went to a funeral yesterday. And I got to tell you, this is really close. You know how you talk about distance? This is right here in the gardens.
St. John, right?
And yeah, in the Boca Gardens, I think it's called. And I noticed something really, really quick. This gentleman that passed away has elderly family. They came in from New Orleans. And the grass to walk to the middle of this whole production that they did for them, which was great, it was beautiful, is a little tricky. So I had to go and I had to hold on to people to make sure that they don't fall and stumble over stones and everything. So the more I think about what I saw yesterday, the better I like the choice you made, because you can go right up to it. You can do what you need to do. It's right there. It doesn't have that whole long walk to the desert. Because I'm going to tell you, man, it was tricky yesterday. I thought there were going to be a few funerals yesterday after this thing was done. But it changed my whole perspective again. It's the first time in a long, long time that I've seen a Catholic funeral from beginning to end. And I brought a tear to my eye because I haven't seen anything so emotional in such a long time. And I knew this guy for a minute. You know, he's family, but I knew him for a short time. And the people that came in, how they made him feel was tremendous. They gave him anything they wanted. They sat them down. They wheeled them in. It was just such, it was just unbelievable yesterday. And it sort of made it easier for everybody. There must have been 100 people for this gentleman to send him along his way. And I got to tell you, I got a new perspective on this whole thing that Wayne does. I've known Wayne, what, 2.5 years? We sort of debate on that?
3, 4, yeah.
I got to tell you, I got to tip my hat, man, for what you do. It is what you both do. It is not easy. And you know, that day comes and it is very difficult and you look around. Very difficult. Very
exactly. Difficult. It's so much easier to come to us when things are okay and things are good and we're still happy and healthy. You know, I meet with families both ways. You come, like you guys came last week, and we get to take a tour and we get to laugh and we get to just, you know, write everything down and plan everything out so that your family doesn't have to worry about that. Because not just financial burdens, but the emotional burden that comes to your family when you pass. It's
yeah, and if you come ahead,
so hard.
Then we've got huge variety of options around payments, what you include in the initial contract or not, where if someone's passed away, you've got emotions and you got to choose whatever you want and pay 100%. There's no payment plan.
That's the hardest part of our job, I think, is when someone comes in and they tell you everything they want and you have to say, okay, here's what you have to pay before the funeral. We don't like doing that.
Sure.
Yeah, I went through that with my mother. I didn't realize she had a dignity spot picked. The other stuff, the casket and all that. Here I am saying, okay, I got to bury Mom. Where do I bury? I didn't even know where. And then we found the paperwork and we called the funeral. And this was during the hurricane, which was hard. And they said, you just bring Mom, we'll take care. And they took care of everything under the worst conditions in my life by burying my mother. And dignity was there. They're still there. They take care of everything. It's just...
Well, that was one of the things. Slick, let's put some of the pictures up while we talk to Brittany. You told me that 10% of the price of the purchase stays in perpetuity for ground care.
Correct. So a lot of cemeteries, especially up north, they have perpetual care fees that you pay yearly.
Slick, let's put up some of those pictures, please. Thanks. Okay.
With our cemetery, we take 10% of that sale, we put it into an eternal care fund, and we guarantee that everything is going to be pristine and taken care of.
It was funny because I keep telling Wayne, Chuck won't talk about it. He wants absolutely, he will not talk about it. This is lovely. This looks like the Garden of Sarah, right? Oh, that was
So that's right near the Garden of Sarah. Those are private estates, which we offer plenty of private estate areas for families who, want to be together and have a memorialization that they can share with their loved ones in a more private setting.
And it's beautiful. So I basically said, here are your two choices. I know you don't want to talk about this. This is what I'm doing. You want choice A or choice B? And he said, oh, A is too lonely for you. He said, you have to do B. Even though he has no idea what he wants, he said, you just can't be by yourself in this small little isolated estate. So we're going to talk about that later. But then it gives options for, you talked about cremation and benches, and people who say Jewish people can't be cremated. That's not a thing anymore. You actually can be.
Exactly. Times are changing, and we still do mostly traditional burials, but we do help with cremation. I mean, we have a brand new cremation garden specifically for people who want to be cremated and placed permanently at a cemetery.
And you have interfaith areas, so you definitely work with all denominations within where you are.
Correct.
And it's funny because everybody I talk to now wants to be cremated.
Yeah.
Everybody. And they don't care what you do with the ashes. I don't know what happened to tradition. What happened? I grew up that we never, my mother, forget her, she'll haunt me for the rest of my life. My dad, he says, cremate, what? No. But I talked to my kids, I talked to Sarah, I talked to Linda, I talked to everybody who wants to be cremated. And I say, why? Why do you want, so you got to respect how they feel.
You have to respect their decision, but I do think it's important, and I say this to everyone who chooses cremation, you need a permanent placement because you don't want to take home the urn and not eventually place it somewhere within a cemetery because it'll get passed down generations and generations.
Maybe in a closet.
You don't want that for your...
Well, we had that campaign for Lake Worth, didn't we? It was like, isn't it time for Uncle Arthur to come out of the closet? And you had the free
I'm going to
scatter.
tell you.
You don't want that.
I know someone whose husband is in a box and is a gift wrap because he was always her gift. I get all that. She takes ashes out every year at the lake and sprinkles. And I look at her and I says, are you serious? I says, put him to rest somewhere.
Yes.
I just, and I'm trying to be respectful. I'm from the Bronx, and if it smells like a fish, it usually is a fish. Now, you can have a person buried and still have cremated remains put next to you, correct?
Yes, correct. Because husband and wife, they don't always want the same thing. One wants to be cremated, one wants to be buried traditionally. We work around all of that.
And that's one of the things that I love that you showed us is that you are their options.
Right.
I remember different generations we talked about with you ladies. My grandparents are both in a mausoleum, and that's why I don't want to be, because I just remember the sound and all of that. Some people love it. For me, as watching that happen, but they both went together. My parents have decided what they're doing together, but you offer options because Chuck and I are not in agreement on what we want.
Exactly.
He won't even discuss what he wants.
Not yet.
But I don't think, he doesn't want what I have. He does not
Not
want
yet.
to be in a box.
That all changes, man.
He doesn't want to be in a box. He doesn't want to be underground.
What you're choosing gives flexibility in the future.
So we got flexibility.
But the main thing and a huge part of our effort is just trying to say to people, make a plan ahead, because you don't want to leave that burden for your family when you're end of life. Hopefully, the best thing I can wish on people is that you die of old age. That's the best case scenario. Unfortunately, it's not always the case. A lot of things can get us unexpectedly. We don't need to dwell on that, but if you put your plans in place ahead of time, and the full plan, you make it so much easier for your family.
What's the best way to reach both of you or one of you?
So there's my name on the screen. My cell phone is always the best way to reach me, and it's 561-307-4899.
And of course, you can always reach us here at the cafe, and we will always get you in the right direction with Wayne or his colleague or Brittany for more information. Just get informed and make a decision. And I got to tell you, this adulting thing, I'll be very happy. I don't mean, no pun intended, lay it to rest. I'll be very happy when we lay this plan to place, and then I can move on and do what we do.
Well, conversations don't cost you anything, and get educated. Don't make a decision. People will bring up always the negative, always. There is nothing positive about this scenario until you see what I saw yesterday. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a big, big difference watching things taken care of as opposed to going to call these people and saying, listen, I got a problem. And the problem is tremendous. Had that, thank God, the mom and dad, that was all taken care of. My cousin, Juji, actually used Dignity for Ramon and Mencia. He didn't know what to do either, and he saw the show, and he called Puerto Rico, and they took care of that over there. Just have a conversation is all I'm saying.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's something that we all need eventually. We can't get away from that. When you prearrange, we lock in today's price. You avoid all future cost inflation, and we can do a variety of payment plans. So it makes sense for everybody to do it ahead of time, ideally decades in advance. Don't wait. Give us a call, get the information. Brooklyn Cafe is part of the Dignity Memorial Funeral Benefit Program. So any viewers, listeners have access to that. It's a 10% discount on today's prices.
Which is a lot.
Yes, and we are having significant price increases next month or before. So
it's always going up. Trust me.
Well,
give them a call.
Yeah,
Mention
give
that
us
you
a call.
heard it, saw it on the Brooklyn Cafe Show or on WWNN. Still falls under the umbrella of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. And just have the conversation. Green beans, asparagus, 1 or 2. It's kind of how my dinner went down.
Well,
last week.
it's funny because
You want pasta? Okay.
people tell me that I'm too young to make a plan, that I'm too young. And I say to them, I didn't know Death made an appointment. Because you could walk out, get hit in the head with a meteor.
You sound like
or
Kenny
hit
Love.
your, but it's true.
True.
You don't know. And then all of a sudden, what are you going to say? Oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda?
But give them a
Thank you.
call. Let's take a quick commercial break before we come back and talk to Barry Rueben about the Mario Lanza Show happening in March over in London. But we have very, very exciting news about streaming it here in the U.S. on Eventbrite, coming to you in April. So quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and wrap up our brunch hour. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Here at the Brooklyn Cafe, our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Dawn and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
I'm Lady Ashley, and this is my husband, Big John.
The muscle behind the hustle.
We are the creators of this very unique party planning business, Lady Ashley Party Planning. We are known for all the details. We specialize in gorgeous balloon decor, floral displays, and handle all of your party planning needs from A to Z.
Please feel free to visit our website at ladyashleypartyplanning.com. Our email is abpartyplanning@yahoo.com, and our phone number is 561-542-2296.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
All right, let's come real quick because we're running out of time.
Mario Lanza Show coming to
Yo, Barry,
England.
we're going to talk about you now.
Yes.
He's standing up.
Is there a reason you're standing, sir? You're going to salute? There you go.
Mario Lanza Show starting to premiere on March 24th in London. Very exciting 2022 dates with tenor Ian Michael and soprano Maria Kesselman. Beautiful, beautiful voices. And then we have the pleasure of streaming this to the U.S. and abroad for anyone who does not see this in person, probably around April 15th, April 19th.
Around that date, yeah. We're not 100% certain because we got to take into account the editing of the movie because now it's been put up to 4 cameras, so it will take a little bit of time. But I'm hoping, really hoping that it'll be done by the 14th. If not, it'll be done a couple of days later.
Wayne, you like Mario Lanza? Sure. You're going to sing? It's probably music that you know and you don't realize. Probably. Give us some background, Barry, on some of his...
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. It's...
You have to speak up, Dawn.
No,
What is one of his most well-known songs?
Well-known. There's loads of them. The Loveliest Night of the Year, Granada, O Solo Mio, With a Song in My Heart, Be
O
My
Solo
Love.
Mio. There you go.
Wayne,
There's
you're going to
one.
sing that on Friday.
Wayne, you're going to sing that Friday for us, Wayne.
If I sing, I have to move it down. I'm not a tenor.
Yeah, you can bring it down. Oh, we don't know if you're in the penthouse or in the basement. It makes no difference. Don't worry about it.
Are tickets for sale yet, Lord Barry?
Sorry?
Are the tickets for sale yet, Lord Barry?
Sorry, Richard.
He's being funny, but I don't mind. The tickets, they are on sale in London. In fact, we had a call from the theatre the other evening to say they're selling really fast.
Really?
Yeah, the word's getting around now. They're selling really fast. And it starts on as you said, on the 24th of March. And it's all getting exciting. I had a call from Ian this morning to say they decided to change one number. Is it okay with me? So I said yes. Then the musical director got on the phone. It's all happening all the time.
Are they practicing?
Yes, all the time.
They're practicing?
Rehearsing.
Yeah, that too?
Yes.
Can you send me a clip of rehearsals, please?
I can.
Thank you.
But the problem with the clip of rehearsals, they're not set up to do a proper recording.
On a phone. Just send me the clip. I'll do the record. Just send me the clip on the phone.
If you can clean it up, I'll send it to you.
Yes, I'll clean it up. I'll give it a bath. I'll do whatever I got to do. Just
okay.
Send
Give
it.
me a bill as
Send
well.
it to the
about
mikveh, whatever it takes over here.
It's like these Brits are like unbelievable.
What is the website for people to find out more information?
The website to go on, if you go on to, now this is very difficult to remember, Mario Lanza Musical.com.
MarioLanzaMusical.com. Now you got to know how to spell Lanza.
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 Z-A, sorry.
Z-A?
Z-A.
Z-A. I'm sorry.
So what I got to deal with?
We're two
this is
countries
easy?
divided by a common language.
There you go. Zeta in Spanish.
Yeah, that's okay.
There you go.
That's okay.
All right, more to come on our 12 o'clock hour. Thank you all so much for joining us. Are you ready to wrap this up with the trivia question?
Yeah, go ahead.
See who knows this.
Ask.
Where is the world's largest waterfall?
Wayne knows.
Of course he does.
I would guess Victoria Falls. No.
Nope.
Can we Google it?
Nope.
Well, what fun is that?
This segment brought to you by Coffee News.
I've been there, but I can't remember the name. It's not Victoria. It's not Victoria Falls.
This is right up. Brittany and Wayne, you should totally know this. Angel Falls, Venezuela.
Angel Falls.
How do you like that?
Venezuela.
Angel Falls. Bada bing.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you to WWNN. Thank you all for joining us on our 11 a.m. brunch hour. Stay tuned as we flip over and continue to stream on 12 o'clock, and we will see you.
You know, you're a little early.
Why are we early?
11:55.
You want to keep going?
Well, you got 2 minutes.
Okay. What else you want to talk about? I'm kidding you. But for more information, we can contact the ladies. What is your website again?
It's hcpmiami.com.
hcpmiami.com.
Or you could call our office at
1 minute.
305-266-7142.
Talk into your microphone because we can't hear you.
That's 305-266-7142. You could ask for Roxana or you could ask for Limaris, and we'd be more than happy to help out.
And Barry, yes?
Yeah, just to add that if you want to buy tickets for the shows in London, all you have to do is go on to the website and they have all the information. All the tickets are purchased directly at the moment from the box office. So they called me,
30
as
seconds.
I said, and so I would suggest if you want to come there quickly and get yourself some tickets.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned. We're going to continue our afternoon Wednesday show on the other side of WNN. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that wraps up our brunch hour. But don't go away. Stay tuned for more laughs and cheers on Facebook or YouTube or any other social media platform at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. See you soon.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Welcome to our website. We got loads of news and gossip for you today. But first, here's a new song.
Yo, this is Shelly Michelle and the Fire Girl. Yo, this is Shelly Michelle and the Fire Girl. We got to nice up the world.
Read more a la musica. Baila el ritmo.
paso para adelante y otro para atrás. Que la quimba, la cumba, la que la quimba, mamá.
Do you feel?
Buena señorita.
Feel the rhythm on your feet now. Do you know? Music unites the world together. Do you want to mueve tu cuerpo? Come, let's go. Move your body to the beat of the rhythm.
Ven señorita, ven mamacita.
Ritmo a la música.
Ven mamacita, ven mamacita.
Baila, baila el ritmo.
Tú sabes que
Let's move your body, move it.
los cueros, ahí me condenan.
Move your body, groove it.
Bendón, bendón.
Move your body, move
Ven
it.
señorita, ven mamacita.
Shake your hips to the music.
Bendón, bendón.
Jamming together.
Bendón, bendón.
Feeling the fever.
Bendón, bendón.
Hips just a moving.
Bendón, bendón.
One love forever.
Bendón, bendón.
Baila el ritmo. Jamming together.
Bendón, bendón.
One love together.
Bendón, bendón.
Jamming together.
Bendón, bendón.
Come on, everybody, we're feeling fine. Come on, everybody, let's move in time. Groove to the rhythm when you hear the beat. Groove to the rhythm, let's move your feet.
Actívate, mamita, que la vaina sí está buena. 1, 2, 3, suelta la cadera en Panamá, Trinidad y hasta Venezuela. Cuando te ven bailando, y sálvese quien pueda, señorita. La pista está candela. Los cueros, los cueros, los cueros, ahí me condenan. Ven, señorita, ven, mamacita. Bendón, bendón, bendón. Que venga todo el mundo que esté pa' gozar. Con Dulce y Cheli vamos a bailar. Un paso para adelante y otro para atrás. Con la quimba, la cumbala, esto va a explotar.
Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. Hold fire. Let's move your body, move it.
Los cueros, ahí me condenan.
Move your body, groove it.
Bendón, bendón.
Move your body, move
Ven,
it.
señorita, ven, mamacita.
Shake your hips to the music.
Bendón, bendón.
Jamming together.
Bendón, bendón.
Feeling the fever.
Bendón, bendón.
Hips just a moving.
Bendón, bendón.
One love forever.
Bendón, bendón.
Baila el ritmo. Jamming together. One love together.
Bendón, bendón.
Jamming together. Baila el ritmo.
This is Shelly Sushel. And the fire again. And the fire again.
Sweet shirts.
There you go.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome.
All right, Slick, can you just give them the little media kit that's on the table, the yellow card, please? Yep. And there you go.
And we're back.
Phew, what an hour is all I can tell you.
Lots going on.
A lot going on. I think Wayne and Brittany are on their way. We've got a line for the ladies' room. We got Cole on the board. Slick doing his thing.
I don't know what Slick is doing.
He is overseeing the community. And then
The community.
the community at large.
The community at
I
large.
gotta tell you, when you take a day off, it's a lot to catch up on.
You did 3 sets in 1 hour.
3 sets in 1 hour. That's why we get everyone a little bit of judge. The ladies came up from Doral, I think.
Yes, they came from Miami, actually.
They're heading back down. But what I love is afterwards, we go to commercial break, everyone's handing out cards and everyone gets to network.
Well, that's the object of the game. Also, we could talk about Boca Magazine.
Absolutely. Slick, can you do me a favor and bring me one of those Boca magazines, please, over there on that table, between here and Studio B. We've got a pile of Boca magazines because we're very excited that we met with Reba Larney today, And we are getting ready to place our ad for the April edition in the Boca magazine of the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Haven't seen you in a couple of days.
Have a seat, Slick. Grab a
Forget
mic.
what you look like.
He's been holding down the fort here, Friday, with us.
He has. But Reba is the spokesperson for us with Boca Magazine. And I'm talking to Lord Barry about joining forces with us on this piece as well.
I was thinking about that because it comes out in April, so the April edition would be perfect timing for the streaming.
Exactly. So I'm thinking maybe we do a half, quarter with him, and go to half.
So
and see how that works out.
We can
I was
definitely talk
wondering
about
if I
that.
had a free purse.
Wayne, did he prep you on what it's like to come down here for the day? A little bit? Really fun. I'm glad you had a good time.
And I love everything about this place.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you understand a little bit of our quirkiness?
I love it.
When people meet us on the outside, you got to understand the inside of why we are the way we are on the outside.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
You want to grab a mic and have a little hangout with us? We haven't talked to you in a minute or two. He's running third
So
chair.
sit down. What do you mean? You ain't running nothing from here.
He's running third chair. Cole's
You're going to need a
crib.
mic. She's going to need a mic. What's Alana on?
Alana's very official. She's deep in the throes of
Oh,
creating
no,
a Comcast
don't.
commercial.
Don't leave Cole alone. Don't leave. My head hurts.
All right, Slick, you got to go back in there.
I didn't realize it was Cole on the board. All right. Alrighty now.
You may as well learn, right? Isn't that what we do best?
Alrighty.
We got Bree on sound.
We have Brian Sound, okay. All right, so let's talk about this Boca Magazine spread. It has over 75% are the subscription
Our subscription
pages.
viewers, absolutely.
25,000 or 20,000 subscriptions are in this bad boy. Now, everybody knows Boca Magazine if you live in Boca and outside in the fringes. And I think it's a turning aspect of putting an ad in there.
I think it's going to be great. They've got all different opportunities from Boca to Delray, spotlighting restaurants and networking, advertorials, advertising, and then even just some great pieces. We actually met with Serenity and Tea by the Sea last week.
She has a whole page in
She
there.
advertises in the Delray Beach magazine because it is, oh, look at this, it's even about Wynwood in here. It's such a great magazine. The pages just feel nice and feel good. So I have to ask you, we talk all the time about amplifying your impact and building business and growing business.
Yeah.
What do you think we do best that you would spotlight and amplify? Would it be the cafe or would it be our network of all the other shows that we produce?
Well, everything is different. The network is one aspect. And we actually have two networks. We have AMP and AMP Square. That's one aspect, but it's like asking what's bigger, NBC or Seinfeld? And I think that everything has, Lordship, sit over here so I can see you. Everything has its calling. Like I'm talking to Lord Barry about opening up the London office for what we do. So we have a studio in London. Or you're going to call it AMP Studio? Are you going to call it the Cafe Studio? Because Seinfeld showed, and what's the other one? The bar. Cheers shows that sometimes these shows get very big and people talk about them, but they're still housed on major networks.
Correct.
So to answer a complicated question that you've put out,
Yeah.
I think that the show right now is carrying the weight. And then when we run out of things to say, or we retire or whatever, then the other shows will fill the spot.
Because we talked about it with our executive producer over the weekend, and there's no right or wrong answer, but when you go to advertise and you put in you create something like this happens to be for Sunrise Senior Solutions.
Right.
What are you spotlighting? Because sometimes, often in advertising versus what you and I do in the media, less is more.
Well, I think that the cafe speaks for itself. It's like everybody recognizes this picture.
Sure.
This is the Hard Rock, right?
What do they say? A
That's
picture
the
speaks
guitar.
1,000 words?
Exactly. So in a magazine, your eyes are doing the walking. That you stop and read the article, that's a different challenge. but your eyes do the walking. Now, Barry used to run Weight Watchers in the day back in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, in 7 countries, right? Yes. And he is outstanding in what he did back then and still with the productions that he's attempting to do now. I think that if you advertise on a magazine of this sort, it sends a different message to the people you're doing business with. You know, we're all in, and we're taking as many with us as possible. That's what I love about magazines. Remember in the day when you used to scratch and smell the perfume or whatever they were saying? So I asked her, can we put a coffee scratch and sniff? And she was laughing. I wasn't laughing. Until he came along, Barry came along, and he talked about how he put an ad in the magazine, and he put it in upside down.
Right? Grab your mic. How was it? Was that effective?
What number is that?
Indeed.
What number is that?
Is that 5 or 6?
5 or 6?
5.
5.
Make sure the green light is on.
Little lights on.
So you put it in upside down.
I put it in upside down because with magazines, people never read the magazine. They scan it. They pick it up by the front cover and they flick the pages. And when they open it up, the best spot is top left-hand corner or top right-hand corner of the first double spread. After that, in my opinion, they really don't work. That lady's going to kill me. But the other end of the magazine is if you can get something on the front page that's extremely expensive, the thing that draws somebody to a magazine is an upside down page. They look at it and they think, well, what is that? And they physically take the magazine, turn it over and read it. And then of course it's up to the person who makes the insertion to make the text interesting enough for them that they go and read it. And people open a magazine 2 different ways. You see how you're flicking through it, Freddie?
Right.
I put the magazine down and I'll turn it over. That's right. And some people go from the back first.
But that's how I used to read the newspaper. I used to go backwards to forward.
Yes.
But I got to tell you something. I think it's the material, the magazine that you're reading. Okay, so there used to be a magazine in the day. I can't remember the name of it. It was a funny magazine, and it used to make satire of everything going on around us.
Yeah, I know the magazine.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I used to read that one from the back to the front.
Yes.
Ever see a magazine where halfway through they flip it and half the magazine's upside down?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've got like 2 magazines in one?
Not half the magazine. Oh, yes, I've seen that as well.
Right.
2 magazines in one, yes.
I see they do that to change the language.
Yes, in Belgium we used to do that.
So I think that what's happening here is it's changing. I think if you put a QR code like we're going to do,
That's
it
excellent.
takes you to the link. I think that if there's a scratch off and you win 2 tickets to Mario Lanza on the magazine, I think that's different. I think that the problem is not the magazine, it's not about how you read it. I think it's the call to action on your ad.
Yes.
But that's true about everything.
Yes. 100%.
You know, people come in here and they take a look around and they go, I didn't realize from watching a show that this is what it looks like until you're here, until you feel the vibe. Same thing with a magazine. I could put a circus on a page if you give me enough leverage. I could put it upside down. I could put it this way. I could put it where there's a scratch off. I could put a QR code in there. Lots of stuff. Call to action. Give people. Now, if I put an ad in here, open up any ad, and you scratch this off, and you can win $1 million, do you think people will look for the ad?
Yes.
So it's not the magazine. It's the call to action
within
the
the
ad.
yes.
That's what people have to get and understand, that the nature of this beast, including media and radio and television.
I like the QR code.
Do you know that I said QR code 13 years ago and they laughed me out of the office?
You sent me a QR code?
No, I thought of doing QR codes on business cards.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did it. On everything.
I think we have it on our cards. So you saw the Super Bowl, right? The first commercial, and everyone's like this for the Bitcoin, which
Yeah.
you didn't know was Bitcoin until you scanned it.
And you got $15. They blew up the website. The website went down.
Have they talked about how much Bitcoin was sold through that?
About 4 Bitcoins. So what's that, 240 million?
I think a Bitcoin is 45,000. You would think more than that.
No, I think it was more
It's
than
got
that.
to be more than 4
I know
Bitcoins.
that they raised 4 Bitcoin for the truckers in Canada to support the drivers, so that's going to be good money.
I never watched that program, sorry to say.
Which program? The Super Bowl?
Yeah.
How can you not watch it?
I don't understand the American
Bitcoin is
football.
43.6.
So just watch the commercials like everybody else. The commercials are $2.5 million for a 30-second spot.
Yeah.
The advertising is something that goes on and stays with you forever. You remember the chick, what's her name? Dana Patrick? The race car driver.
Yes.
She started GoDaddy about 12 Super Bowls ago, and she blew it up. She had that leather jacket. They played it a couple of times. I'm going to tell you, I went to GoDaddy just to see if she was there.
And GoDaddy, there you go.
And GoDaddy went like this. And you see with the one with the Bitcoin and everything else, you got to have a call to action. That was brilliant what they did with the QR code on the commercial.
Everybody where I was at my sister's. No one knew what the commercial was for. You just saw this QR code floating around, and everyone grabbed their phones. And everyone did when they got through to the site. And then people bought more. So it was brilliant. Right? Simple.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. You got $15 if you sign up. So there you are, opting in. What I love so much, these are well-educated
You got to
people.
opt in.
They give you this, you come to the landing page and you have to opt in to give them your information or you don't get it. And everybody, I can say everyone, probably the majority of people opted in, gave their
Well, you have to.
information, right, or you don't get it.
It's legal if you don't.
Gave their information and then either purchased more or just kept the $15. But now Coinbase, who it was for, has all of this information. They have increased their database thousands and thousands.
And everybody bought more than just the free 15.
Sure.
So it was a brilliant move.
Right.
On a small idea. And it's not the first time that idea has been thought of. It is the first time placed in the Super Bowl.
It was a great idea.
Which is a great investment.
Yeah.
It was a great idea.
I almost called you. I said, listen, I need $2.5 million to put an ad in the Super Bowl. But when I said, I left you a message, you never called me back.
I'm just glad you didn't call me.
No, you were next.
Did you know, fun fact, what color is an octopus's blood?
What color is an octopus's blood?
I'm going to say blue.
I'm going to say red.
It is actually blue.
Blue?
Because it is not iron-based like a human's, but copper-based, containing a protein called hemomyosin versus hemoglobin. Isn't that interesting?
Now, is the ink octopus shoots out, is that blood or is it a muscle in their system?
It's a muscle thing.
But is it blood?
No.
It's not blood. Okay.
It helped the blue bloods, help them with oxygen when they go deep diving in the water.
You know that there are
Brought to you by
octopus
Coffee News.
that go down so far you don't know what they look like. Squids and stuff. They attack
What's
whales.
the difference between a squid and an octopus?
I think it's size, no?
The spelling.
The spelling.
The
For
taste.
sure.
The taste.
How many honeybees can live in one hive? This is crazy.
2 million.
No.
How many? I have no idea, but I would say more something like 500, 1,000.
10,000 to 80,000 bees per hive live in one hive.
What is the #1 nutrient for a honeybee? What flower?
Orange blossom or honeysuckle?
The sunflower.
Really? Interesting.
That's what I read.
Interesting.
I didn't even know that.
Did you know all this, Freddie, or did you learn it?
No, I read.
Answers?
I pick up a magazine and read it. All of this information can be found all around you.
Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with our Wednesday Wines Day. See what's going on with our brew crew. Give us a call, 888-994-4995.
I want to talk about the mailboxes that they produce.
All right.
You guys did them, but you didn't talk about them.
Studio A. We'll be right back.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
Justin Mooney is special counsel of the Florida office of Hinman, Howard & Cattell Attorneys. Justin's practice focuses on tax, estate planning, guardianship, probate, and trust administration. His passion is to provide clients with sophisticated estate plans which carry out their wishes, reduce any potential taxes, and preserve wealth for future generations. The attorneys of Hinman, Howard & Cattell provide first-class legal services and have achieved a reputation for excellence for over a century, staying on the leading edge of the law. When you need representation or legal counsel, contact Justin Mooney at 561-276-1008 or jmooney@hhk.com.
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
That's what it comes down to.
So you weren't here yesterday. You wanted to ask them how their Valentine's Day boxes went?
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing.
I don't know. Slick, you want to come on and tell us about your Valentine's Day boxes?
This is my Valentine's Day box. It still has the candy in it.
I put my, oh, you got a lot of good candy. What do you got in there? The Trolls. Ever had one of these?
No, Alana gave me that. Sour Patch, over here.
Do you like sour candy? This one's empty. I gave you an empty bag of candy.
You guys gave me an empty bag of candy.
That's what you can, you're not eating candy, so that's good. This is diabetic candy.
Yeah, but why did they put it back in my box?
So that's what you get.
Unbelievable, that's what I get.
That's exactly what you got over there. So we just got big news from Angel Kinsey's Touched by Angel Live.
Okay.
That she is working with a new sponsor of the Low Sugar Bakery.
Oh, Barry, you didn't try the Low Sugar Bakery because it was all gone by the time the set was over.
Where is the Low Sugar Bakery?
Oops.
It's at...
It's on Federal Highway just south of Camino.
South of where?
Camino Real. You'll never find it because you'll make a right and then another right. You end up everywhere where you started.
No.
It's on Camino Real by the Publix supermarket.
I'll find it. The Sugar-Free Bakery.
Low Sugar Bakery. We probably have their card around here.
Low sugar.
But they are going to be Angel's new sponsor.
But they also do no sugar. And they do sandwich and bites and things of that nature. We should have talked to the ladies before they left about that. We should have talked to them about mini donuts. We should have talked, a lot of talk. It was busy here this morning.
It was very busy here this morning. A lot of meetings. We put a lot in a few hours. I'm eating these Trolls.
Those are Alana's.
Actually says Sabrina.
Oh, those are Sabrina's.
The back of the pack matches your shoes.
Surrounded by a lot of
Don't eat your shoes.
a lot of this stuff. So that's how it all went down. What are you looking at over there?
I'm watching the door open and close.
Who's there, Slick?
Apparently nobody.
Has anyone been watching the Olympics?
Yes, I'm very disappointed.
Why?
Because the U.S. hockey team last night lost in a shootout, 3-0. They were winning 2-1 with, no, 3-2 with 42 seconds left. And the is from Slavia,
Slavia, yeah.
And they pulled a goalie. And the U.S. know that's coming, right? So you gotta do what they call forechecking. You gotta check people to get those people, because it's 6 against 5. And they score with 43 seconds left. And they tie the game. And the U.S. did not score after that. They went to a shootout, and they scored 3 goals to our 0, so they won in the shootout 3-0. So the USA team is eliminated, men's side.
From hockey?
From hockey.
What's our gold or medal count? Do you know?
Yes, we have 19. We're in 5th place.
For medals?
I think number 1 is 27 from Norway or something.
Really? Norway's leading? Well, you could understand, I guess, because it's always cold.
Well, and not only that, but we had some bad weather here in the States that we could not get our athletes superior. Well, that's okay. It's not about the United States always being number 1.
On the subject of sport, have you seen the Russian skater?
The 15-year-old that was
Yeah.
found not guilty.
Unbelievable. No, her skating, unbelievable. She, most people do a single, double, or triple spin as they jump up.
She did the 5.
She goes up and round and round and round.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, first time in the history of the game that somebody did a 5 or a 4, a quadruple.
Amazing.
First time. And that girl they were going to pull her medal.
Yes.
Because her grandfather gave her some kind of medicine to put on her chest, because apparently she twerked herself so much that she hurt herself. So it was an innocent rub, like a Vicks vapor rub, and it's illegal. So her blood work came back negative. And when she produced it and where it came from, they did the investigation, they let her keep the medal, and she continues on her way. But I saw the flip. I was like, holy smokes.
I watched it last night.
Unbelievable. It's like the young lady who just announced her engagement, the one that had to take the mental off the stress lady.
Simone Biles?
Yes, she just
Really?
announced her engagement on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
And I was reading it, and good for her. She did a jump that's never been done as well.
She was going out with a football player, right?
Yeah. And I can't remember his name. Maybe Slick remembers his name. And she announced her engagement. Good for her. And hopefully the divorce doesn't follow in a couple of years.
Yeah, you're always so
I give the card. Always prepared.
The Olympics, I haven't heard a whole lot like we did on the Summer Olympics.
Well, because the United States is having a hard time. The snow is a problem, and then the snows for real, that became a disaster.
Oh, in England, if you get 1/4 of an inch of snow, England stops.
It's like the
trains can't run
Carolinas.
anymore because
Yeah.
there are leaves on the tracks. We are a really strange country.
Now, I got to ask you, you have these cabs.
Have the what?
The cabs, the cabs,
Taxis, yes.
the taxis. And the taxis, the trunk never closes. It doesn't close. It's always open.
The what?
The trunk, where they put
The boot?
this, what they call it?
The boot.
The boot?
The boot, yes.
How did you know?
She's clever. Dawn's clever.
So, it doesn't,
He wants me off the air, but I'm clever.
it doesn't lock.
I was only joking.
It doesn't lock. So you put your suitcases in there and you close it. It doesn't lock.
You know why? So people can't get trapped in there.
Okay, so when you stop at a light and people are walking by, they pop this thing, take your suitcases and run.
I don't think so.
Oh, I do.
They
I
normally
saw
put
a comedy about it.
But
Benny Hill, remember Benny
That
Hill?
was back in the day, though.
Yeah.
You remember Benny Hill?
Yes.
He did a comedy
Yeah,
about
he
it.
was hilarious. But on the taxis in England, you have the driver, and next to the driver where somebody would sit, it's an open space, and that's where they normally put the bags.
Is that what they're doing now? They're doing that now because they kept stealing them out of the boot.
So I have a joke for you. Why did Mr. Cyclops close his ophthalmology school?
Because he was blind.
No.
I don't know.
Because he only had one pupil.
Oh.
Bada bing.
Bada bing.
Who sent that, Joey?
Yes.
Get your coffee news with Joey. What's Joey's number on that thing?
Joey's number for the coffee news. It's very cute, I got to tell you. Is 954-951-7870.
We have Lucky's in there. We have you in there. Is there somebody else? You have-
Florida Humane Society, Chicago deep dish pizza muffins. That sounds absolutely delicious, I got to tell you. Dunkin' Donuts on Southwest 18th Street is their focus of the week.
And the pop people?
Mr. Lemon Pop Bubbles, if you want to have fun at your birthday party, he is a whole lot of fun. King Devo Plumbers talks about, here's the American Red Cross. Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. Please give the gift of life.
If you're a diabetic, are you allowed to give blood for the Red Cross? Or they don't take your blood?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know in the day you couldn't. I don't know about today.
Very interesting.
My
All right.
grandson is diabetic, and I don't think he gives blood.
And you can't give blood. So I wanted to talk to Lord Barry about opening up offices in London.
Okay.
Because we tried that with Manchester. And I thought it was going really, really well. I don't know
You've
what
been
happened.
with us for about a year.
Yeah, maybe we do both and open it up. I think it'll be a nice segue to do stuff over the pond. Manuel is in Spain, and he's agreed to put the word out and help us promote stuff over in Europe.
And we have a new producer. She is half British, half Spanish, and grew up in France.
He speaks French.
A nice combination.
It's a nice
What
combination,
languages
right?
you speak?
All of them.
French, Spanish, and English.
But it's interesting because her computer yesterday is in French. She speaks to us in English. But she says, look at this. I go, okay, what does that say? Ever see a Google page in French? Nope. So I don't know how she shifts her brain, but she's trilingual. So she's going to be working us on an international platform and creating an international program for herself of different international students and platforms. So her mother's from London, her father is from Madrid, and she grew up in France. They actually still live in France.
Have you ever been to Barcelona?
Yes.
You've been to Barcelona?
No.
You have to go over the French Alps when you're driving down from Sweden.
Yes.
Which is what happened with me. And the ridge between the French and Spanish border, those mountains, they have restaurants on either side.
Did you stop at every one?
You have to. You have to taste the wine, right?
Yeah.
Which is the better wine, the French wine or the Spanish wine?
Actually, I think it's the French, but a lot of people prefer Spanish. I think it's just a taste.
I had both. There's like 100 of them.
Do you remember?
No, it was like a five.
He didn't remember anything he was driving.
I couldn't even remember the car. I got into this car with two ladies, a friend of mine, a buddy of mine. We were in Switzerland, finished the meeting. We had to go down to Barcelona. We were going to fly. We canceled that. Met two ladies at the hotel, and they didn't speak a lick of English. And she says, you come with us, we're going to Barcelona. So Barcelona, go, car. That was the only word. So it was stick shift. So she says, I drive. I didn't drive stick shift in the day. So she says, I teach you. I must have like ruined that clutch, baby. But I drove through the French Alps during the Winter Olympics. And I have flown over with NBC, with Al Michaels and them guys.
Really?
They were in the plane. And I flew over, and they dig holes through the Alps for you to drive through.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
And then they see in the ridges, you see the mountains and all that, and they have the camp at the bottom. So I pulled over, of course.
If you drive from London to Geneva, you drive through Mont Blanc. There's the tunnel, the Geneva Tunnel, right through the center of Mont Blanc.
Really?
Yes.
Sounds so amazing.
I was in
doesn't it?
Geneva, but there was no Mont Blanc.
No, on the way to Geneva.
On the way to Geneva. Okay, I was
way
in
to
Geneva.
Geneva, yes.
And I took the expressway, the Autobahn. The Autobahn.
Yeah.
And I was going 95, and they were passing me like I was standing still and tooting the horn.
There's no speed limit there.
People were telling me, out of the way.
How is that even possible to have no speed limit?
I don't know.
No accidents? People just go?
There probably are accidents, but I mean, I don't drive that often in Europe. Not anymore. I did for 20 years.
How do you keep it here? You drive on the right, and over there you drive on the left.
Yeah, it's easy.
How do you do that?
You remember that you have to sit in the center of the road.
Then I drive in the middle.
No, that's how I remember. When I go home, I have to sit in the center of the road. And here as well, I have to sit in the center of the road. It's easy. Maybe easy for me because for 20 years when I was working with the Weight Watchers thing in Europe, I used to drive everywhere, and that's all on the other side, this side, the way you drive here.
So making a left is easy. Making a right is like making a left here.
Yeah, but you get used to it.
No, I went to the British Isles. I went to St. Thomas. I had to give it up. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Too confusing for you.
Oh my God, I kept going in the right lane. And here comes the traffic. And the two in the and I'm like, oh, yeah, I went to the left.
You're definitely hanging out with me. You are covered in red glitter.
I am?
I know. I don't know where
That's
you get it
this
from.
thing.
That's kind of nice, right?
No.
I think we have an event to announce for Saturday at Deck 84 with Gubba Rum.
Yes. You have to come, Lord.
Are you here this weekend? Are you in town?
He's moving.
Yes, I have to look at what I'm doing.
Deck 84, I believe it's from 4 to 6. It is a Gubba rum tasting at Deck 84 up in Delray Beach on Atlantic, right
what
off of
time?
Atlantic. I believe from 4 to 6. You gonna go?
I'm going. I'm there.
And I
You
was
have to come,
invited
Lord.
this time, so that was nice.
You invited?
Steve invited me.
He did?
Yes.
I guess he's picking up the tab.
I'd like to do so many of these things, but unfortunately we're moving. And
You ain't moving at 4 o'clock on a Saturday in Florida.
How's that going for you, by the way?
it's hell. You've just done it as well.
Yep.
You're moving, but you're sending your stuff where?
We're sending it, we're freighting it over to the UK.
Okay, so you have a company comes in, picks it up, and takes it out.
Yeah, we have to pack it all up, but all the furniture, we're not taking the furniture.
What are you doing with it?
We're trying to sell it, and if we can't sell it by this weekend, we will give it away to the Red Cross.
What kind of furniture is it?
Electric beds, bed sets, beautiful cupboards. All that
You have vibrating beds, you say?
Electric.
Electric
Oh,
bed.
electric bed.
Yeah, you lay in bed and you want to sit up a bit. You press a button and the cushion comes up like
Beautiful
that.
cupboards.
Oh, those are cool. Cupboards.
Cupboards.
The hell is that?
Things to store tchotchkes in, like cabinets.
No, that's collectors. Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes, cabinets. Well, look at all of our stuff here, cabinets.
You need a cabinet? Put one in the bathroom.
I got so many cabinets, cupboards. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more with our Wednesday wrap up. 888-994-4995, Studio A. Stay tuned. I'm giving Cole some time to prep, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Proudly distilling out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping!
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
Did you know, breaking news, that Virgin Galactic, you can now go for only for $450,000.
Where? To space?
Yep. $150,000 deposit to reserve your seat on a future flight. The balance is due before takeoff.
Yeah, but it used to be $250,000. Now it's $450,000.
$450,000.
And the catering's not good up there either.
$450,000 on Virgin Galactic, space reservations, and new consumer branding.
Is it true? I heard somebody mention to me that they found a planet that has life.
I heard that as well.
Recently, I heard this. I think it was last week. One of the, you know that telescope that we sent up there that took like a month to put together? Did you see how they did that?
Yeah.
They sent it up in like 2 or 3 rockets, and then everything had to be put together and unwrapped. And they had to unwrap it slowly so they wouldn't break the wings and the lens. And it took a month to unwrap it. And now they're using it. This is 100 times or 1,000,000 times stronger than the other telescope that's up there. And they found life on a planet. I gotta look that up. Anybody know that?
It's quite inconceivable that this is the only planet with life on it.
Yeah, can you imagine? That, I was thinking about that today, of driving in, the act of humility and thinking that we're not all that we all think we are, right? Everyone's out running, making a better deal, growing their profit margin, but there's got to be life someplace else.
How do you know that?
And they're all looking, because how could we possibly be the only, humans, there would be maybe another life species. I don't think there's humans anywhere else, but another type of life species someplace on another planet. Don't you think?
No, I think there is life on another planet. We can't be the only planet.
I was talking to the crew yesterday when you weren't here about mental health, because that seems to be a big hot topic on what's going on with the Olympics, is all of these athletes and their trainers, such a huge mental health component. They've got counseling, they've got coaches, they've got people there trying to help them navigate the scope of not only being homesick, what it's like to be training, to win, to lose, all the notoriety, being in quarantine. They got a lot going on over there.
Okay, so there's a planet in Jupiter called Europa that they say has life on it.
What kind of life, though? That's the
Well,
question.
that's the question. What kind of life?
It's not human. It could be an amoeba.
Well, it has hot vents coming out of abyssal oceans, liquid water, and sources of energy in the essential. So they're saying tidal wave heat and things of that nature, layers of ice. Underneath the layers of ice, they believe there's life.
Like the lost city of Atlantis?
Organic
Organisms?
compounds that live in water. So that's what they're saying. And it looks like Slick came from that planet.
Do they have theaters up there?
Do you have theaters that you can play the Mario Lanza show over there too?
You can do anything you want.
So I need to ask you, how was your Valentine's Day? We saw you Monday, but we did not get to see you yesterday. Did you have a nice Valentine's? I saw you Monday night.
What are you talking about? You talking to him?
You.
You saw me Monday.
Nice Valentine's Day afterwards? Do anything special? What did we do Monday night? Who did we interview? Oh, we had Angel's show, which was great, with the Low Sugar Bakery. Oh, I wanted to congratulate you, by the way, now that I remembered that. Because Monday night was the first night that I really saw networking at the WNN AMP studios.
There's a lot of people over there.
Since been 2 years in the making. I remember you set it up, we went there, we ran wires, we put everything up there just for what we were able to do on Monday night.
Correct.
And people didn't want to leave. They loved it so much.
I had to kick them out.
Yes, because you were leaving, and I went, oh no, you're not leaving me
Well,
here.
it was Valentine's night, and Nancy had come in for the funeral, and I wanted to take her somewhere to eat. You know, Florida goes to sleep at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
So if you don't eat by 10 o'clock, you don't
Can't
eat.
get anything.
Unless you're gonna get a burger from McDonald's, and I ain't doing that. So I took them up to the Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse.
All the way up in Boynton?
In Boynton. I ran up there, and I did a little lie. She says, "Did you call ahead?" I said, "Of course I called ahead. I made a big production. I got in." Which I hadn't called.
But the networking of Monday night was really, really nice.
It was very nice. You had the bakery. You had a few shows there. And actually, there was supposed to be another show there. And Lord Barry was supposed to be there. See, he doesn't understand this. You got to have the ability to move quickly.
Well, he's moving, but what was interesting is, you know, you and I do this a lot, and there's always people here. That was the first time I had hosted from that table with people on the other side. So it totally, not that we haven't done this for many, many years, but it changes your perspective when there's people in the audience. It's just a different feel, because even where I was sitting, just out of the corner of my eyes, those chairs were full. There were a lot of people. They were networking. They were talking. Shane Farnsworth came in, and they got to meet Sunshine Senior Solutions. So they left, and they came back in. A lot of moving parts.
Now, I have one of these machines there, which I now have to put in the lobby and finish that construction, because now I had to bring in more chairs because more and more people are coming up. Fridays used to be like that as well. More and more people are coming in. I'm asking the hosts from all the shows, like Steve-O on Thursday night, Marsha Teal on Tuesday nights. These are people who should invite other people in to look at the show, maybe get a little something to eat, a cup of coffee or something, and sell your goods to people that are coming and checking out the shows.
Because I got to tell you, the networking what Angel has put together on Touched by Angel Live, the way she has networked her people in just a short period of time is spectacular what she has done.
It is, and she has a captive audience with seniors, and we had people here with seniors as well that have needs and everything else. And if you know your niche, you do a call to action on your niche, and it will work. That is, and I was happy to see that the NN Studios had people. Remember when 2.5 years ago, that place used to be rocking and rolling.
Rocking and rolling before the pandemic. We were doing that every night in the lobby, in the living area.
Everywhere.
But Monday night was really, really nice. It was a nice Valentine's Day. Everyone was enjoying it. The cake, taking it home. Even that little girl, isn't she beautiful?
She's gorgeous. And you know something? I didn't even get to talk to him because I was doing production. What did you do Valentine's night? We got out of here late. What'd you do?
I think I went home, ate dinner, and went to sleep because it was late. I think by the time I got home, it was like 9 o'clock.
What'd you do Valentine's night?
Not much.
Another,
no,
many
my wife
words.
and I gave each other the same gift. I was walking towards her while she was walking towards me. She was smiling and I was laughing, and I said, "What's going on?" So she said, "Well, it's Valentine's Day and I forgot to get you a card." And I said, "Don't worry about it. I've just forgotten to give you a card." So it was a hug and a kiss, and that was Valentine's Day. But every day for us is Valentine's
It's
Day.
just the love abounds.
Oh, he's such a... How many years have you been married?
Okay, well, here's your question. Have I been married 35, 45, or 55?
55.
56 in June, yeah.
Okay, so you've had 56 Valentines.
Yes.
And tell me which is the number one Valentine of those 56 years most memorable to you. And I just want to warn you, your wife is watching.
I have. I can't remember. I can't. To me.
56 years, you can't remember the one time?
No, because every day is a Valentine's Day for us.
Okay.
We are very. Lots of people envy us because we do everything together. We watch the same television programs. We do everything together.
So people envy you because you're crazy?
We have that kind of relationship.
Ah.
It's a special relationship.
How you doing? Alana's brother in the house.
You're bringing the wife in.
Jackie just walked in. Just kidding.
Scared you, huh? Scared you. Scared you.
It's like, hi, how are you? You never know. That was actually
my
a real
daughter's here
person.
from London.
So 56
and they've
years.
Gone to the place. They come all the way. They fly all the way here for hours
To go shopping.
To go to Sawgrass.
Really?
Yep.
So 56 years, you don't have a memorable moment.
In 56 years. A memorable moment of 56 years, yes.
Of Valentine's Day.
No, not of a Valentine's Day. We got married again on a cruise ship. We decided we'd like to get married again.
On a
remarried.
Valentine's Day?
No, not on Valentine's Day. On our anniversary. And we got married on a cruise ship. That was special.
You renewed your vows.
Yes, retake them. Yeah.
You had to get back on track to your commitment of ball
No,
and chain.
come on now.
No, it's interesting, different. Valentine's Day, we were talking yesterday, but none of the crew was really attached. It has changed during the pandemic for a lot of people. It becomes a smile, a wave, got to go to bed, it was Monday night. It wasn't anything different. People are just tired.
Too many people have died with the COVID, and I think the excitement of Valentine's Day may be a little bit quieter this year. I mean, I've lost family members. I've lost friends, and it's really, really sad when it hits you. You know, you hear every evening they put up on British television, another 26,000 people died today and another 156,000 people in hospital. It's horrendous. I have kept most articles from newspapers for my grandchildren because when they go to school, they'll be learning about this period. And so I'm going to give it to them to keep. I remember my grandchild asked my father before he died, what was it like during the war? Because they were learning about the Second World War in schools. My father wrote, I think it was about 10 pages, very small handwriting. When you read it, you begin to understand what they went through. I had to run into the underground stations, sleep on the platforms. COVID is bad, but I think they had worse.
This was the one Valentine that more money was spent on in the last 10 years.
Really?
Because nobody could celebrate Valentine's Day for 2 years. And it came all out. And more people spend more money and time on this Valentine's Day. So the problem with the deal is that they're using it as a platform to launch new relationships. So all these new apps came out, all these new platforms came out for people to meet, because millennials are the ones, the younger group right now is the ones celebrating more in the Valentine structure, from what I read anyway.
I think our crew is very happy being single, solo, doing their thing.
Well, that's the other thing, single, solo. I didn't know that if you didn't commit to somebody and you just sort of dated other people and have friends, that's called solo. I learned that on a show we did Monday night.
If you're happy being single, and I think a lot of people are happier being single. I learned a lot because when Angel, I don't think of Angel as in her 70s, but she is. She said by the time when she was growing up, you had to be engaged by the time you were 17, graduating high school, or people thought something was strange.
Yeah, that's how it was in England years ago. Jackie was 19 when we got married, and anybody who was 22 was on the shelf already.
Right.
Today it's changed.
It's changed a lot. And when you and I got married, we both got married young.
How old were you?
22.
Yeah, I was 21.
Right? Different. But now, this generation, they're very happy doing themselves and doing their career and taking their time and traveling and really discovering who they are. And I got to tell you, it's really nice.
Well, things have changed.
Yes.
If you and I knew that getting married was a business and you have to have a job and you sort of have bills and yada, yada, yada. And if you don't, you're going to have a lot of pressures put onto the marriage.
But you also want to be happy. And I think different generations, they didn't sell their souls, but they were arranged marriages just because you did it. You did it because you thought that's what you were supposed to do. And for love or for money. Wasn't that a show? That could be a show.
Is it true that women marry for the pomp and circumstances, having the perfect wedding, where guys say, here's a check, here's a this and that? I mean, is there like a imbalance?
It's
between
funny. I thought that until I'm watching. Well, you have two sons that got married.
Yeah, and one was, forget about it, he went over the top, but that was because of her.
That was him or her?
Her.
So I'm watching Aaron plan this wedding with Ashley and everything, and Ashley will say, well, or Ashley's mom will say, well, Aaron wants this, and Aaron wants that. And I'm like, really? You want all this pomp and circumstance?
Aaron doesn't want that.
He said, I thought it'd be a nice idea until I heard it was $20,000 for this. And he goes, I don't need it. I just thought it would be nice. But he wants more pomp and circumstance than I would have thought he wanted to.
Whose idea is it, his or hers?
I'm not sure.
That's the thing.
That's an interesting point.
I'm not sure because
That's
her
a very
ideas,
interesting
because now they
point.
share ideas.
Getting married early is a bit of a problem on the family side because it sort of goes, I'm not going if they're going, and I don't want to sit anywhere near them. And if it's on a round table, I want to be on a different table. And then people will say, I've got to give a gift to this one. What shall I give? So somebody who's kept a list of gifts that they have received and given, they look up the list and say, last time she spent $50 on a gift, so don't spend any more. It's become like that. It's
all money. It's all money.
It's all money.
On the wedding invitations, you have to write no gifts, just cash.
Well, that's a change also because they said they don't have room for things.
No gifts, just cash.
Yeah.
They don't have room for things. They just want money towards a honeymoon.
Cash.
Cash or money.
It's a business.
Yep.
I'm going to spend $100 a person to eat. I expect you to give me $200. That doesn't always happen. And then you have that side of your family. I'm going to talk about my family. You have that side of my family that's going to give me maybe $25. Maybe. So do you invite them and not invite them? I grew up with them. It is unbelievable. And you got to be honest. If you're not honest, it can cost you a whole lot more hurt.
So I'm watching all of this.
It's a profession.
It is a business.
Then you have the wedding planners.
Oh my God.
A whole nother story.
And the wedding planner will tell you, I'm going to give you option A or option B, and they're this pricey. So I says, what's option C, the cheaper one? No, we can't do that. And mothers of the bride, I'm going to tell you right now, as God is my witness, they control the flow. And no disrespect over here.
Sure.
No disrespect. Sure. But the bride's mama is in charge of every wedding I've ever seen. Yes. She may do it a certain way. She may say it a different way, but it's always the mama way. Always. Because she talks in her mother and her daughter's ear, and the daughter talks in her husband's ear, and all of a sudden, Mom, I think this is a great idea. He's like a talking robot.
That's pretty much how it rolls out.
I saw my son. I said, you're having robots. We know the owner of the robots. She's been here. You're having robots. I said, Freddie, why don't you put this money together, this $100,000 you're spending, and buy a house? You know, don't spend. No, Dad. You did it. You got married. You spent the money, and you can't say I didn't. But I can tell you how much it hurt.
But it's different now.
It ain't different, Dawn. You want to paint it that way because you don't want to be truthful.
No, I mean, what they want is different. They know who they are. They're getting married later. They're exploring their careers. The women are exploring their careers more than our generation. For women, overwhelmingly explored our careers.
40 is the new 20. Wait till you're 40.
And they don't really want things. They don't want to acquire stuff. They want adventures.
Tchotchkes.
They don't want tchotchkes. They want to go away. They want cash.
A lot of cash.
A lot of
They
cash.
don't want China. My mother was obsessed
No China.
in giving me China. 2 marriages, 2 sets of China. I sold one. I still have the other that I use. What the hell am I going to do? I had enough China for 25 people. I'm not feeding 25 people. Forget about that.
And I'm certainly not feeding them on China. My house, you got paper.
No, I'm going to tell you, coffee in China on a China cup is the best.
Ready to wrap this up, my friend?
I am.
Barry, thank you again for joining us.
Pleasure.
Tomorrow we've got Justin Mooney joining us of HHK, and we'll see what else we've got rolling out on Friday. Of course, our networking event here on Fridays, always brought to you by Reba Larney and Boca Magazine. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun.
It's going to be new blood, new fun, new laughs this Friday. Join us on Saturday at 4 o'clock at Deck 84.
And have some Gubba rum tasting.
And
Steve
have a
Gubb will be
taste.
back in the house tomorrow. So we got to make sure our bar is all set for Steve. Ready to go?
I got to practice.
Nice job, Cole, on the board. Nice
doing my
job,
Olympics.
Bree and Slick and Alana. If we can help amplify the impact of your business, spotlight your business on Comcast or right here at the Brooklyn Cafe Show, give us a call, 866-224-5422, and check out our merch store, brooklyncafe.tv. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that gleams across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and